Hello and welcome everybody, and thank you guys for joining me again. My name is Wilkie and I am here with my Demon Slayer skill build. Rather, this is going to be a 2-in-1 skill build. So let's start right off the bat with what I'm going to be showing you first. I have the two skill sets. In case you're wondering, you can buy an item in the cash shop that allows you to have two skill builds, so you can just swap on the fly. That also takes over some of your skill points over there. I don't have skill overclock at the moment because I don't have premium running. So if you have premium running, your numbers might be a little bit different. Anywho, let's start right off of the bat. Now, first of all, we are Doomslayer. Not only Doomblade anymore, Demon Blade, but we're Demon Slayers now with the Second Awakening. For the first build, though, I don't really dabble into all of these skills because you don't need them. The first build is more or less what a lot of people call the ranged build, and for that, you obviously need these imprints. And the main focus of that build is to farm dungeons as quickly and as efficiently as possible. And I will show you where this build shines, for example, and where it doesn't shine. For the range build, there are only really 3 skills. Obviously, I didn't change the imprints, but Break Spirit Sword, which is this skill here. Let me do unlimited skills here. 100 Spirit Shop, this is your main DPS spell, along with Purgator Wave. Now, the reason why this is so effective is because I'll show you just quickly how good this build can be in certain quick-running dungeons. What these imprints do, I did actually talk about this already, but generally, using this imprint set, you can reset the skills of Break Spirit Sword and 100 Spirit Shop by using Purgator Wave. So, as you can see at the bottom here, let me turn this off. I can use this one and this one. And once I use Purgator Wave, both of them go off cooldown again. And you can use them again. This is really all there is about the ranged build that I use to farm quick dungeons, where I don't really pay attention as to where to farm. And I will show you what this means or why this build is so effective. And as you can see, I didn't even touch on the Demon Slayer skill builds, because there is no reason to do so. And I will show you why. Let's see how quickly we can do this, or what kind of run we can do here. What I usually do is I start with that. We did actually miss this guy here. And that's it. And we're done. Same goes for here. And this is all you're going to be doing if you, for example, farm this dungeon or any other quick running dungeon. This is how you farm. This is why I still like the range build, because it allows you to clear these dungeons incredibly fast and incredibly easy and convenient, so there's no reason for you to not use this build. As I said, I don't have premium running, so I can't really skip that, but you can see 10-second clear time. You can clear this dungeon a lot faster if you want to, but yeah. Anyways, this is where the first build ends, really. Let's get to the bread and the butter, and that would be the second build, where we're going to be swapping back to skill set 2. Swap these imprints out. Oh, hold on. There we go. So I will go over the main skills and just quickly talk over the skill build, because as I said, the range build really just focuses on these 3 spells. You just use those skills really to farm the dungeon, and that's it. You don't worry about anything else. Anywho, as far as imprints go, we go for Death in 6 Realms, for technically infinite right clicks, or blade flash cuts. I think everybody should be familiar with that. If you have any questions about that, either watch the old video or ask the question in the comments below. As far as my main skills go, as I said, I have skill overclock not running, so there might be a little bit of skill hiccups here. Obviously, you're going to be maxing Blade Flash Cut, your main DPS source. What I preferentially max then is Ghost Sword Wield, Crossblade Extreme Ascension Blade, and Absorption Demon Blade, and that's really it. You can max Drawing Sword Slash. The reason I have this a little bit lower is because I wanted to dump some skill points into here. This one is really just a filler. Same goes for here. Good for stacking up curses with crits. Purgator Wave, I like the spell, so I max it. You don't have to take it, but it's good for a quick clear, for example, like this. So I really like this move. Cross Slash here, Break Spirit Sword without Awakenings and Imprints, not really worth it. Soul Rampage, unfortunately, the Awakening does not work. So similar to Almas's version, this one does not work, so don't bother putting skill points into that. Clarify Sword or Sword Dawn, you don't really have the time to charge the skill up, so I wouldn't recommend it. As I said, Crossblade Extreme, one of the hardest hitting skills you have. Very quick execution. Ghost Sword Wheel is good, especially with the Awakening here. Ascension Blade, very hard hitting skill, also an iframe, so obviously maxed. And Absorption Demon Blade Slash, very, very powerful skill, has a pull on it. Let's see if we can summon something that's a little bit smaller. That was the wrong button, hold on. It doesn't pull, but you can see the range here. I can only summon bosses here, that's a little bit sad. I won't be able to show you, but I'm pretty sure you know that Absorption Demon Blade has a vacuum on it. It pulls, as you can see here. So definite max. True Flash Strike, I don't think it's worth it. It's good for an iframe, but it's good at that because it only requires you to get 1 level in it. Very good iframe, you can charge it. You don't have to charge it for more damage. It's a relatively long iframe, so it can be used. Important about this skill is that if you just tap it, the iframe is not as long. And if you wait for the little thing here, you can see that the motion is a lot longer, so you get more of the iframe, which is very, very good. And Ultimate Horizon, really just a huge ass iframe, and that's it. There's really not much to say about this skill. As far as Awakenings go, these are pretty self-explanatory. Purgatory Wave has a very good damage increase. Crossblade Extreme, definite take. Same goes for these. Ghost Sword Wheel, since I think this skill is relatively decent for the amount of cooldown it has, plus you can get a lot of charges with it. So it's a definite take. This is as far as we can go about the normal Doomblade skills. Now let's talk about the second Awakening skills. Storm of Phantom Blade. It's really a hit or miss. This skill is incredibly quick and hits hard. But also at the same time, you can quite easily miss it if the boss moves around. Obviously for raids or something, this is very, very good. So I definitely take it at least at rank 1. If you decide to put more points into that, that's optional for you. Obviously you need the skill overclock for that. Break KO Slash. This is sort of a counter. Unfortunately, I won't be able to show you exactly what that does. If you get hit, you can see it on the skill icon here, on the window here. If you get hit while holding... Where is it? Oh, that's not what I wanted to press. There you go. If you get hit while holding this counter, you will automatically execute the forward slash momentum, and you will also reset the skills. So this is the main reason I maxed this. Because if timed right, you can use this skill multiple times. And it does a fair amount of damage. So this is really, really good. Moonslash, the main reason was really, should I take Moonslash or Lightning Rush? I like Moonslash better. First of all, if you charge it, it has a very, very long motion, but you can also just tap it, and you don't have to worry about anything in terms of momentum or movement. The problem with the other skill that is technically for option is Lightning Rush. While it technically is a ranged ability, the wave is obviously range attack, you also need to be able to hit the enemy with the actual upwards and downward slash. So it's not really as much of a ranged ability as it may appear at the start, so you have to be close. Which for me is a little bit of an issue, because it has a longer cooldown than Moonslash, and due to the fact to fully utilize this skill, you need to be exactly close to the enemy. For me, I'd rather prefer Moonslash, which you can, for example, just squeeze in here, and then you're set. You can just use this, and you're set. Same thing goes, though, you can use it like this. So it really is personal preference. If you prefer Lightning Rush over Moonslash, and that's perfectly fine too. There is no real kicker about this, because these are only filler abilities. Even after the second awakening, all you're going to be doing as a Doomblade is this. There's no difference. With or without the second awaken, you can squeeze this spell in, but you don't have to. You can squeeze this in, you can do this. Ultimately, it just stays the same. You're just going to be repeating this over and over again when you farm with the Doomblade. The second awakening does not change that. The main differences, though, are Sword Style will increase the damage, but it doesn't matter what rank Sword Style is. So there's no point putting skill points into that. The damage goes up, but the damage is shit anyway. So don't put any skill points into that. All you need to do, or all you need to know, is that this is a filler. And I will show you that. Let's do a skill reset here. Everything's off. Remove. Summon. Let's take a look at the damage report, reset everything. So we're gonna, I'm just gonna be using right clicks and fillers. And we will just take a number then and see how it goes here. There we go. Let's use another crit. I showed the trick in another video that you can use other abilities to score crits as well. Usually it shouldn't be much of an issue, but sometimes it might be, so. Anyway, so far we're looking good. And the buff is running out soon. So let's take a look at the damage report. We used 145 blade flash cuts in roughly 30 seconds and did a total of 25 billion damage. So, remember that number. Why does it... Hold on. Reset, reset, reset. There we go. Let's resummon this monster. Now we're going to be using the same strategy, but I'm going to be squeezing in Sword Style. Sword Style is this move here. Very quick execution. And if you hit an enemy, you can get a stacking buff that increases damage by 5%. It may not sound like a lot, but it's very quick. And you'll see why we want to use this. So let's start the show. Start off. You can see the buff in the bottom left corner. And same thing here. We're just going to be trying to squeeze as many in as we can. Second hit here. Let's keep some stacks up here. And there we go. That was a little bit of a hiccup here. That shouldn't be happening. Yeah, there we go. It's very easy to keep up the buff, so you don't really have to worry. We got a little bit unlucky with the crits here. So let's see what the damage report says. Unfortunately, it's stacked. So we had 25 billion damage with 145 uses. But we did not use the same amount, but we have more damage. I'll do a reset. Let's see. Try once more time. You probably already know where this is going, because otherwise I wouldn't be showing it to you. With this little skill you get, you can deal even more damage while not really having to worry about anything else in terms of Doomblade mechanics, or nothing else really changes, so... So, let's see what the damage report says now. We have 124 uses, so we used 29 hits less than last time, but we did almost do the same damage. So you get the idea. By using this spell here, you can increase your damage output by a very reasonable amount for very little skill points. So generally, this would be my go-to skill build. If I would go for raids, or any dungeons where I don't one-shot everything with my ranged abilities, this is the build I'm going to be using. If you have any other questions, anything else you want to know or want to see, feel free to let me know. And I will catch you guys next time. So, have a good one, and see ya.